Then just give me a minute. Yeah, we just do a small OLAP. What do you say? We just solve a small OLAP. Not solve. It's search. I just demonstrate a small concept of OLAP. So I just want to confirm with you all. Can you all see the slide presentation? Students, is the slide presentation visible to you all? Can you see the slide presentation? Is it visible to you all? Students, am I audible? Good afternoon, students. Am I audible? Is the slide presentation visible to you all? Can you all see the slide presentation? Okay. Yeah. So I think I have done star schema, right? Was star schema done for you all? Was star schema done? Students, have I covered star schema? I think I have done star schema, right? Yes or no? Students, are you all there? Okay, we'll just go through it again in case it's not done. I assume this is done because I think I've given you all time to draw. We are doing OLAP right now. We'll just cover a small part of OLAP and then we will do a small numerical on FP3. Okay, so this is the first part of Unit 2. We are come back to the contents of Unit 2. So just to revise, what is OLAP? OLAP is online analytical processing, and this is a part of exploratory data analysis, that is visualization of data, understanding the nature of data. So exploratory data analysis can be done using visualization techniques like scatter charts, turn off faces, okay, then contour plots and so on. It can be done using summary statistics, and the third technique is using OLAP, which is modeling of data. Okay, so over here we use a concept of data warehouses. Okay, and how is the data stored in a warehouse? So the different schemas which can be used to store data in a warehouse is the star schema, the snowflake schema, and the fact constellation schema. So the star schema, as it's given, it's very clear. It has one single fact table. A snowflake schema also has a single fact table, but in the snowflake schema, some dimension tables are normalized. Okay, and the fact constellation schema or the galaxy schema has more than one fact table. So that's why it's called as a galaxy schema or the fact constellation schema. So these are the three main types of schemas, and data which is stored in a warehouse would be employing any of these schemas to store the data. So over here, in this technique, the first one, this is an example of a star schema. Now over here, in the star schema, okay, these tables, time, item, location, branch, these are called as our dimension tables, and they are linked to a single fact table by having each of the primary keys of the dimension table stored as a foreign key in the fact table. So what does the fact table do over here? For each time, for each item, for each branch and location, it represents what was the sales done in terms of how many units were sold, what was the amount earned, and what is the average sale for that time for a given item per branch, per location. Okay, so this is exactly how a star schema would work. Okay, so have you all understood this? I think you all have drawn these diagrams. Please go through your books. I think you have these diagrams already there on your books. Yes or no? Do you have these diagrams on your notebook? Do you have these diagrams on your notebook, students? Okay. Next we have is a snowflake schema. Students, do you have this? Kindly confirm. Please do not be silent over here. I think some of you at least should have this because I think I had given this for you all. So do you have these schemas on your notebook? Kindly confirm, please. Can you please check your notebooks and confirm whether these schemas are there? Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Savita. Yeah, I do remember this done. So, Savita, can you just confirm whether you have Star schema, snowflake schema, and the fact constellation schema. Do you have the third schema as well? Do you have this schema as well? Do you have all the three schemas, Savita? Three, no? Three schemas. Third is not there. Okay. This one is there. This is the snowflake schema. Okay. In the snowflake schema, okay, what is done is this location table is normalized. Okay. So into two tables, location and city. Okay. Is this schema there? Is the second one there? Is the second one there, students? Okay. Students, it just represents if only one person is responding here that you are not taking down things which are given during the online session, and that's not a good sign. Okay, please take down the things which are given during the online session as well. So over here, this is an example of the snowflake schema, again which has a single fact table, but one or more dimension tables may be normalized. So that's a snowflake schema. Okay. Now here again, this is not only location, it is item also which has been normalized. So we have item table which is normalized into two tables, item and supplier. Okay, so this is an example of a snowflake schema. Last we have is the fact constellation schema. In the fact constellation schema, students, we have two fact tables, the sales table and the shipping fact table. So here this constellation schema, as I said, it has more than one fact table. Over here, the first fact table stores the details of the units sold, the amount of money earned, and the average sales done at a particular time for a given item per branch per location. And the shipping table which is there, it basically stores the details of an item at a given time which is shipped from one location to another, okay, location wise, and the cost of shipping and how many units were shipped. So basically it has a shipping details of a given item at a given time, okay, based on a given location, okay, and the cost which is involved in shipping and how many items were shipped. So this is an example of the shipping table. You all can take this down, students. You all can take this down. Students, you can take this down. Please take this down. Which one? Snowflake is also not there. Snowflake is not there. Savita, I'm sorry. Snowflake is not there. It's there. Okay. So this is also the fact. All three are. That's what I felt I had done all three. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So, so this is what we have here. Okay. A concept hierarchy. So concept hierarchy, as I told you, it's merging of concepts from low level to high level. Example for location. What do you have for location? Location can be based on continents. Each continent can have countries. Countries can have cities. Cities can have different streets, okay, or locations within a city. So you can have a different concept hierarchy. So these are the low level hierarchies, and as we move up, we can move from low level hierarchies to high level concepts. Okay, so this is a concept hierarchy where we move up the hierarchy from this is the low level detail, that is from each office location or street to a city, city location to country location to continents, and so on. Okay, so location could be represented in this manner using a concept hierarchy. So over here, just you can take this down later. Okay, now over here, what is done in OLAP is the data is viewed in a multi-dimensional space. So over here, the sales which is given, okay, the sales amount of units sold and so on, it is viewed as a product of location, time, and item. Okay, it is viewed as a product of location, time, region is representing a location, product, and the time. Okay, so this is what is given as a concept hierarchy over here. Now again, for product, the industry, the category, that's industry means a company to which it belongs, it can be summarized to that level. Okay, then it can be represented in terms of categories, okay, or the individual product. Now region, again, we can have this hierarchy from office location or street location to city location to country, and finally the entire region. like the continents. Okay, and similarly years we can have um, okay, months have so many days. Also from days we can summarize it in terms of months or in terms of weeks. From months we can summarize it in terms of quarter, okay, quarters of a year, and then finally quarters, each quarter of the year can be summarized in terms of each year. So this is how the data can be summarized. Okay, it's an example of Q. Okay, so here, as you can see, this case basically now if you talk about this will tell you the amount of sales done. Okay, let's look at this one. Okay, the amount of sales done, the one which I'm showing with the cursor, this will show you the amount of sales done for VCR product. Okay, in the first quarter of the year. Okay, the amount of sales done for VCR product in the first quarter of the year, okay, in US, okay, in US, because the first portion, the first row of this cube, the first row of this cube is for the region US, the second row is for region Canada, third row is for Mexico. Okay, so like this it will tell you the sales by computing it as I said, as a product of the location, time, and the product. Okay, location, time, and the type of product. So this is what we have. This is important, and you'll please take this down. Okay, so we have the base cube. Okay, that is the details, the lowmost details in terms of the sales done in terms of product, the given day and the country. Okay, then we have sales done in terms of product, comma date, product, comma country, product, comma sorry, date, comma country. Okay, then again we can have this done in terms of product, date, and country, and finally the final cube. So this is called as the apex cube, which is a summarization of the sales done for a product, for the date and the country. So this is called as the apex cube, and this is called as the base cube. Students, I want you to note this down because this is important. Kindly note this down. Can you please note this down? Do you have this on your notebook? This also. Do you all have this on your notebook? Students, do you have this on your notebook? Okay, so you can take this down. Okay, 1 minute, just yeah. And just one thing, please take down this definition. Okay, just take down this definition first. Please take down this definition. When you are finished, please drop a message. Please take down this definition first. Okay. You can take down only this part, students. You don't need to take down the whole thing. You can just take down the first branch, like Europe is made of Germany, Spain, and Frankfurt. And you can just show this concept hierarchy over here. Don't take the full thing. You can just take down for one continent, Europe, and show that. Okay. Have you finished? Have you finished, students? Yeah, in this, between this week. Have you finished, students? Have you finished? Okay. Now coming to the OLAP operations, we have first one is roll-up. The roll-up basically is a summarization by climbing a hierarchy or a dimension reduction. That is, what is the meaning of climbing the hierarchy? That is, if you have the sales done day-wise, then you can see the sales done month-wise, week-wise, year-wise, okay, or each quarter-wise. So you are climbing up the hierarchy. Or dimension reduction, that means you are reducing the number of dimensions, okay. So if you do the dimension reduction, that is, you reduce the number of dimensions, that is, you what do you say, combine the dimensions or you skip a few dimensions, then that is called as a roll up, okay. The next thing is drill down, that is the reverse of roll up. That is, from the high level summaries we come to low level summaries, or we introduce new dimensions. That is, for example, if we have year wise, the same thing, we will show it month wise, or month wise we will show week wise we will show day wise, a detailed data. Or we can have more dimensions added for a given concept, a dimension we have, we can add more dimensions, so that is called as a drill down, okay. So drill down can be done by, now what is say, climbing down from a given hierarchy, concept hierarchy, or adding more what is say, dimensions. Now the slice and dice. Slice basically, students, is based on, it's called as a project or a select, okay. And you have dice. Now dice basically is when the selection is done based on two or more dimensions, okay. If the selection is done, students, based on two or more dimensions, then we call it as dice, otherwise it is called as slice, okay. So I'll explain this with the help of a diagram, okay. Explain this with the help of diagram for you all. Now, pivot is nothing but you are basically reorienting the cube, the visualization. You rotate the views. That is called as a pivot. Apart from that, we have something called as drill across. That is drilling across if you have more than one fact table. Basically, it's for fact constellation schemas. Then you have drill through. That is, you drill through the bottom level of the cube. Okay, till that means you go through all the dimensions of the cube. Okay, till you reach the back end relational table. So that is called as drill through. It's not a drill down. Drill down just moves from the higher level hierarchy to the lower level hierarchy, but drill through moves from the dimensions to dimension tables to the back end relational tables which are there. Okay, so please note down the definitions before we go to the next slide. Okay, please note down the definitions before we go to the next slide. Have you finished taking down the definition, students? Have you finished, students? So this is an example of a dice which is shown over here. So dice is based on selection of two or more dimensions. So here the selection is based on location, okay, time and items. So you will compute the sales done, okay, for locations which is Toronto or Vancouver. Then the time could be quarter 1 or quarter 2, and the items, okay, location done for the first quarter, the second quarter of the year, and sales done based on the items being home entertainment or computer. So what is this representing? This represents the sales done. Okay, let us say 605. What is 605 here? Sales done for items of type home entertainment in the first quarter of the year for the location Vancouver. 395 is the sales done for the first quarter. Okay, for the first quarter. Okay, and for the first what is that? For the first quarter of the year for the region Toronto for items of type home entertainment. This is a dice operation. Can you see the diagram? Is it visible to you all? Is it visible to you all? Yeah, is the diagram visible to you all? Is the diagram visible? Please draw the diagram. Have you all finished? Students, have you all finished? Okay. Take your time. Yeah. Please draw the full thing, okay? The next we have is a slice operation. Now what we do over here is, basically when you say slice, what is when you slice? You're cutting the first quarter, okay? So you're cutting the first quarter. So over here, when you cut the first quarter, okay, the first slice, the topmost slice you cut, what do you get? You get the sales done for the first quarter of the year for locations Vancouver, Toronto, New York, Chicago, and for items of type home entertainment, computer, phone, and security. So this basically is based on, selection is done here based on what do you say, quarter one. Okay, so the selection here is done based on quarter one. Okay, time is equal to quarter one, and you are computing the sales done, okay, based on the first quarter for the different four locations and for the different four items. So you have to assume as if the first part is cut out. Okay, the first part is cut out, okay, and given. So this is how a slice will look like, okay, of two dimensions, dimensions item type and dimension location. So this is the year what will be represented the sales done for each item for each location based on the first quarter. Okay, can you all please draw this? Can you all please draw this? Have you finished, students? Next thing, students, we have over here is the roll-up operation. So what is a roll-up operation? You can just see this over here. You have over here four cities. So each we will compute the sales done country-wise. So we will aggregate the sales done of each city according to the country. So Toronto and Vancouver, are in Canada. So we compute the what do you say that we summarize the sales. Okay, we will aggregate the sales done for Toronto and Vancouver by summing them up and representing them as a total sales done country wise. So here the sales done city wise is aggregated to the sales done country wise. Okay, so this is a roll up operation where the sales done country wise, sorry, city wise is rolled up to the sales done country wise. By summing the sales done for each city, we can get the sales done for each country. Okay, and this is what is representing the roll up operation. So we are climbing the concept hierarchy from city. We will climb the concept hierarchy to countries. So sales is represented in roll up from city. It is represented in terms of country. Okay, is this clear? So you can just take this down. Understood this, students? The sales is done instead of being done city wise. It is done. Okay, we climb the hierarchy from city. We compute it country wise. Okay, and from country wise we can compute it continent wise and so on. Okay. Have you all finished, students? Have you all finished, students? Students, have you all finished? Students? Yeah, okay, fine. Take it. Take your time. Next, we have is this drill down operation. So the drill down operation is a reverse of what we saw here. Okay, but over here the dimension which we are going to use is the time. Okay, so in terms of quarter we drill down to the months which comprise of each quarter. So we show the sales done month wise. So instead of quarter, we drill down the concept hierarchy from quarter to month. We can even further drill this down to week wise, okay, and day wise. So we can drill down further from month to day wise, week wise. Okay, so we will what is done here is we climb down the concept hierarchy. Okay, the we climb down the concept hierarchy, and over here we move from quarter down to month. We can move from month again, we can climb down to week or day. So here the sales is shown month wise, and so showing the sales quarter one is what is say broken down into January, February, okay, March. Okay, it is broken down into these what you say 3 months. So it shows the sales done for each month. So each quarter is broken down into the respective months, and the sales is shown month wise. Okay, so this is a drill down. Here the dimension which we use for drill down is time. Okay, and we climb down the concept hierarchy from quarter to month. Okay, so you all can take this down as well. You all can take this down. Okay, it's very simple. Please take it down. Have you all finished, students? Have you all finished? Okay. So this is one. Okay, this is pivot. Pivot again is a very simple thing. It just rotates the view. Okay, it takes the what do you say, the sales which is done for, let us say, the first quarter. Okay, sales done for the first quarter for each location and for each item type. So we just rotate the view. In the slice operation over here, we had Chicago, Vancouver, okay, the cities on the y-axis and this on the x-axis. So we just rotate the view. Okay, pivot just rotates the view. Here we have the I. Okay, the what we have is if we rotate the view on the y-axis we have the item type and the x-axis we have the cities. Okay, that's the only difference. It just rotates the view. Okay, that is a pivot operation. Okay. So we need not take this down. This isn't very important. It just rotates the view. You can just make a note. It rotates the view. Okay. So the next thing we have is a problem based on an OLAP schema problem which could be asked. So here it will first tell you to design a schema. So listen to the question. Okay, you can take it down later. It tells you that there is a warehouse for a university which has 4 dimensions: student, course, semester, instructor. And there are 2 measures: count and average grade. Okay, so please listen carefully. There are 4 dimensions: student, course, semester, and instructor. So we have 4 dimension tables and 2 measures: count and average grade. So for count and average grade, that way will count and average grade go? Does it go in the dimension tables? Where is this measures represented? Count and average grade, in which table it is put? Count and average grade is put in which table? Students, count and average grade, the measures are put in the fact table. When we use the word measures, that means they are not stored in the dimension tables, but they are stored in the fact table. Okay. Now, at the lowest level, okay, for a student, the grade which is there, the average grade, basically stores the actual grade of the student. So the information given to you all is that at the lowest level, the average grade represents the actual grade of the student, and at the higher level it represents the average grade for a given combination. So if we start with the base Q, okay, the student, course, semester, and instructor, okay, as is given as per the dimensions. The question asked is, what OLAP operations have to be done in order to get the average grade for computer science courses for each university student? Okay, so which OLAP operations have to be done to get the average grade of students, okay, which have opted for CS courses for each and every student? So here, okay, and one more thing is given: if the dimension, okay, this part you can ignore. This isn't asked much in the question paper, but still it is there in Hayne and Camber. If a dimension has 5 levels, okay, like student has a major, status, university, and all. This is the levels which a dimension have. then how many cuboids will this cube contain, including the base and the apex cuboid? So we'll look at this question later. For today, we will solve the first and the second part, and the next time, maybe on Wednesday, we will do the third part of this question. So first, let us look at the hierarchy. Now, please students, don't leave this, can be asked in the question papers. They have asked questions on designing data warehouse schemas. So here students, which schema can we go for? Which are the three types of schemas? Star schema, snowflake schema, and we have the fact schema. So here we can opt for the star schema. Okay. So what you've done here is, actually this is not a star schema. This is already a solved problem, students. This is there in Hayne and Camber, and most questions are taken from Hayne and Camber. Okay, the problems which are there at the end of the chapter. So they have first designed a star schema and then normalize one of the dimension tables. So based on this normalization, we convert the star schema into finally what we can see here as the snowflake schema. So here there are actually 4 dimensions: course, student, instructor, and semester. And this part is optional, students. They have normalized the student table into student and area. So this becomes now the snowflake schema. And count and average grade, which I told you all are measures, this belongs to the fact table. Okay, when you say measures, that means it belongs to the fact table. Okay, so here in this table you have to assume, now is this given to you? No, the levels of the tables are not given to the dimension table. So just excuse me. So the levels are not given to you. You have to assume the levels. Okay. So now over here we have 4 dimension tables. Okay, one which is normalized and a single fact table. What is done? The primary key of course table, student table, okay, semester table, and instructor table are added to the fact table, and these are the measures. So these are the the foreign keys over here of all these tables which are there are added, and the measures are added. So what does it tell us? Okay, how many students? Okay, it tells us average grade, assuming, as I told you all, it says average grade is the actual grade earned by a student for a particular course, for a particular semester, and who was the instructor for that course. So what does it tell us? Okay, it tells us the average grade. Okay, here if it is the lowest level, that is the base cuboid, then it will tell us the average grade, that is the actual grade earned by the student for a given course, for a given semester, and who is the instructor. Similarly, the count will be 1. Okay, now if you want to know how many students have enrolled for a particular course per semester, okay, then you can the count will be aggregated. Now the question says what specific OLAP operations can be done in order to get the average grade of CS courses for each university student. Okay, so if you want to find first of all the average grade for all CS courses, what you need to do? First, you need to do a roll up, that is from course ID, we need to roll it up course wise. So we need to find out average grade earned course wise. Okay, and then from semester ID, okay, what they've asked us to find out the average grade of CS courses for each student. So here from semester wise, okay, from semester ID we need to roll up to all, that is we need to aggregate all the values semester wise, okay, for the course. Okay, semester wise per course we need to aggregate the average grade, and then we perform a slice where the course is equal to CS. So there are 2 roll up operations done here. First, roll up from course ID, okay, to department of course name, okay, and roll up then from semester ID to all, that is you roll up because you are not searching semester wise, you are searching based on the CS courses. Okay, so you are searching based on the CS courses, so you will roll up from course ID to course name or course department. Now why do I say that? Because It could be that the course name is computer science or the department. So assuming now here they have taken a department wise, so okay, you can take a department wise also or course name. Both would be correct. Okay, depending on how you interpret it. Then here you once you've done that, then you roll up from semester ID to all. That means you aggregate all semester wise based on the courses which are there, and then you slice for course CS. Okay, so that will give you the average grade earned, okay, for CS courses. Okay, average grade earned for CS courses per student. Understood? Okay, can you just take this down? Can you just take this down, the problem? Can you just take down this problem? Otherwise, yeah, you'll just take this down and then I'll share the schema with you all later. Only 5 minutes are there, so I'm just thinking whether we will finish. That's the only thing. Have you all finished, students? Be a little fast, please. You need not take down the third part, students. This is hardly asked in the question paper. Just copy the first and the second part. Kindly copy only the first and the second part. Please don't take down the last part. Have you all finished, students? Have you all finished? Be a little fast in taking down. Okay, by the time go and get the attendance, please, if you're finished, let me know, then I can draw the schema table notes. Do not take down the last part, okay? You can take down the dimension table by then. Okay, please answer a roll call. Okay, take down the dimension table. Leanne, Leanne, Wendell, Mehul, Tanish, Jason, Saish, Rahul, Lakshmi, Rishikesh, Lizanne, Shrisha, Sheetal, Mahit, Savita, Virisha, Pradnya, Mohit, Sia, Akshata, Pradnya is absent. Ujjwal, okay. Yeah, Lakshmi, I'm after present. Ditesh, Sumedha, Shriyash, Alian, I'm after present. Chevik, Merlin, Sania, Dattaraj. Chevik is absent. Gayatri Par, Sahil Romano. Gayatri Par, Sahil Romano. Pranav, Rahil, Nikhil, Purvesh. Pranav, Rahil, Nikhil, Purvesh. Purvesh is absent. Adarsh, Manal, Mayuresh, Tirtha. Khalil, Samish, Tanisha, Yash, Sanket. Gunesh, Sheena, Rinki, Anish. Sanat, Anish Narvekar, Sujit, Sushrut, Nikhil, Sohan. Aniksha, Ruchita.